software with the inclusion of Deathwing. I don't know if that had anything to do with the update, but we'll get it fixed for the next cast. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and pop right into this. Let them know we're ready to go, and we're gonna move over to our draft overlay, assuming that it's looks like it's working properly. I think all of our overlays are working properly. Just the maps, for some reason, switch over to this. None of the maps are showing up, and I don't know what happened. But let me go through real quick and see what was banned for everyone. sOaK Every Lane banned Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Alterac Pass and Battlefield of Eternity were banned by Lurk Patrol. Lurk Patrol did opt to pick up Volskaya for game number 1. Now, sOaK Every Lane does have a off-roster stub in Key tonight, so we'll see if that makes has any impact on their game. But whenever they are ready, we will get things moving along. Alright, going into first draft, Volskaya Industry, or Volskaya Foundry, we get a first ban Maiev coming out from sOaK Every Lane. Good, strong hero on the map in general. Anybody that steps up can get grabbed, pulled into a cage, and then subsequently deleted. Follow-up ban for Lurk Patrol, ETC. The cow is not going to see any love today here. Once again, I do apologize for the issues early on. I will have to bring it up to our designer and see if there was a me issue or an issue with the program itself. But follow-up ban, Anna. It's good solid ban on a support or on a healer. She's good for boosting mages, great overall sustained healer, late game burst healing. Basically game-changing ult in and a hero that goes well with Anna, Malthael. Seeing that early of a ban on this map specifically, either you're looking to negate the possibility of Malthael, like a heavy frontline, or just he plays against what you're planning on doing. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot of heavy frontline come out from sOaK Every Lane, or I'm sorry, from Lurk Patrol. Lurk Patrol's first two heroes, Diablo, Gul'dan. I'm not normally a fan of Gul'dan or Diablo on the map because of the lack of. It's got some areas to wallbang, but it's a decently wide open compared to other maps. But we'll see how they make it work. And then Gul'dan, strong hero overall, great wave clear, good sustain and burst damage late game, depending on your level 1 questing talent. And sOaK Every Lane follows up with a Stukov and Orphea. Stukov, Silence, Pull of Death, great sustain and burst healing, pops a trait, and then Orphea, overall nuisance to everyone. Few different talent paths you can take her, but typically The slows level 1, especially with a Joe and Stukov, you have plenty of ways to proc that. Sylvanas banned by Lurk Patrol. Strong all-around hero, currently sitting at the top of my preferred list, so zero issue with that ban. Good push with the Protector as well. Tyrande banned, coming from sOaK every lane. She's a good healer. I'm not sure what she would do. You really need to get her out of the way. She combos well with Diablo, so I can give him that. Lucio Blaze picked up by Lurk Patrol. Blaze all around strong, off laner, off tank, decent wave clear. Good, solid alts, both of them. Bunker tends to be a better of the two, but Lucio picked up as well. Lucio move speed, looking for ganks. Weak early game healing. Great alt, but up until roughly level 16, as healing leaves some to be desired. And then sOaK every lane rounds out their draft with a Tychus and Arthas. Not sure I really like the Arthas. It adds some heals, but doesn't do well. Well, he does do decently well in Diablo, so I'll give him that. Otherwise, not much that you need to shut down in melee. Tychus, great pickup to burn through both Diablo and Blaze, so I really like that pickup. Then, final pick by Lurk Patrol, Chromie. A little bit of a wild card hero, especially since they're running double mage. Decent poke from both of these mages. Burst potential. Wave clears there. Camp clear is a little bit rough. Gul'dan can do it okay. I would normally like to see better heroes that are a little bit better at it, but he can handle it. So let's go ahead and move into game number 1. Once again, NGS Nexus Gaming Series Div B West. We have sOaK every lane versus Lurk Patrol. This is their week 2 match. Now, I didn't get to talk about it really at all beforehand, but sOaK every lane, this is in fact their second match of the season. First match was actually against my own team. We did take an 2-0 over them, so looking for a little bit of a redemption this week. And then Lurk Patrol has taken, let's see, a 2-0 over Roll 1. And then had an 0-2 on them over they were 0-2'd by You Are Not Alone. So that was their most recent game. So they're looking to keep rolling with the 2-0 they took the previous week. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams. On the left, sOaK every lane. Doubles on the spinning, I think that's Orphea. Yeah, that's Orphea. DMN on Tychus. Key on Stukov. Kid is running the Arthas. And then, let's see who I missed. Philip K on Joanna. On the other side, Lurk Patrol, we have Ektar on Lucio, Ace on Chromie, FPS Nate on Diablo, Gunny on the Gul'dan, and then Hyde F on the Blaze. Take a look at our talents. I did upgrade my Aliabs, so I have talents that can be shown here right off the bat. Fantastic. FPS Nate's taking a ton of damage. Just go ahead and walk out. He's gonna have to either get some orbs or get some Lucio touches there. Off lane, rotation a little bit late by the Arthas. He's getting down there now, but I shouldn't miss too much. So the wave clear is decently on the side of Lurk Patrol at the moment. Let's take a look at our Orphea level 1. So she is capable of clearing waves substantially well. Should be able to follow up on the Joanna decently well. So the decent wave clear on both teams. It looks like there's a little bit of an advantage on the side of sOaK every lane so far. Lurk Patrol did go ahead and move over to their camp pretty quickly, and this is what I was talking about. Chromie in particular, they're going to have an incredibly tough time clearing camps. Actually, I thought that was the camp health. It covered it. But they are a little bit slower in terms of overall time took versus sOaK every lane. But both teams did pick up their turret camps. Dude was a little bit far up, but with his Q is going to go ahead and step out, eat a couple of corruptions from Gul'dan. Philip K runs in, grabs him, but Dubles ultimately ends up taking a lot of damage. 3 time stops, by the way. 3 people in the time stop. No substantial value out of that. Meanwhile, we have Blaze and Arthas just wailing away at each other down here. Arthas, I think, does win that from the melee range at the very least. Kind of hard to stutter step Blaze into an Arthas. Go ahead and head back up here. So we do have a nearly quarter level lead for Lurk Patrol. Not sure if that's purely due to their rotations or maybe not quite so much a lead. Camps being picked up by both teams. Well, maybe Kermie does have a decent wave clear with her, or camp clear with her little shadow there. Picked up virtually the same time, so let's see which camp ends up winning that engage. Zoom out a little bit here. Philip K trying to stay on point and hold it, but looks like Diablo saying, nope, you're gonna leave. Meanwhile, we got both teams sent 1 or more people up to clear the lanes. Looks like maybe a lot of engagements off the point here. Trying to run down the Chromie, that's not going to work too well. The PS8 coming in. Doesn't dash in on anyone, but we have our offlaners holding the point. A little bit of a slap fight on the point here. Good slow silence on the Diablo. Lots of damage going out on Lurk Patrol. Barely walking away. DNM trying to go up and get some damage to finish them off, but they're going to go ahead and take the point for now. Well, actually, they've been pulling it for quite a while there. Now, with the taps, Lurk Patrol will be able to go ahead and step back up into this. Phil KK wall banged. Dive in doesn't hit anybody with the Blaze. He just take a ton of Tychus damage, and then he blows up. Gunny's half health. He's going to go ahead and nope out of there. DMN a little bit low, but I think ultimately with Kid and Jonah and Arthas just being able to walk in, he takes a good chunk, but Diablo takes Tychus out of the fight, but doesn't matter. sOaK every lane ends up picking up the objective. Trading 1 for 1. Almost pick up another kill onto the Actor with the Protector. He's got to be careful. He's trying to skate the wall, but puts himself in a little bit of a precarious situation. The Snake's trying to step up, get whatever he can get. He's going to get knocked away. Without any damage out here, he's in a kind of a safe position to do so. Protector getting really low. They're going to have to be careful. They're going to get engaged on right out of this. Tychus going mid. This is going to be a 4v3. Okay, steps up, actually gets a kill onto Hector with the 4v3. That's really nice for them, because in the meantime we have Tychus and Arthas soaking lanes, picking up a tower. They are well on their way, sOaK every lane well on their way to getting level 10s first, assuming that Tychus does not get picked here. This is a little bit of a rough spot for him, but it looks like Arthas is going to be able to step up, and then Diablo might have actually found himself isolated here as well. He might actually pay for that chase. This is good silence pulls, slow. Dubles is going to step up, continue throwing damage, and Diablo does ultimately go down and trade souls, so that puts him into baby Diablo status. And Blaze goes down to the Arthas and Tychus at the same time. sOaK every lane is not playing around. They are running it down. Now they do have level 10s. Odin picked up, followed by Army of the Dead, Turtle Feast, Massive Shove, and Blessed Shield. So they have really good siege, really good engaged potential. They don't have a huge amount of setup for Eternal Feast, so that'll be an interesting Interesting to see how much value Orphea gets out of that. So Lurk Patrol does now pick up their turns. They're going to go ahead and go for the heal camp. We do have a Slowing Sands, a Horrify, Sound Barrier, Combustion, and APOC. So they have a nice potential 4-0 wombo, assuming they don't horrify everyone out of there. Diablo goes in, gets massive shoved away. Orphea is actually getting an immense amount of value out of this. This is absolutely insane. Diablo's got to step out of that or else he is going to die. Had to pop Sound Barrier. The big brain Orphea plays, making me look a fool. And she just walks away, say, I'm gonna go do things in another lane. So with that pickup, they are going to pull a full level ahead, continue to gain advantages going into this second protector coming up here. Take a look at our off lane. Not much going on here. DMN out for blood, stepping up, does not care. What did he take at level 1? So he did take range. Movement speed. Okay, so that's... I'm a fan of that talent. Actually, that's probably still the best talent, isn't it? Especially since you don't have to quest for it anymore. The other talents, they sound good, but this one still feels like it's the best of the three. Fear out. Looks like a little bit of a miscoordination there. Diablo goes in and then Fear goes out. They walk away. Did get pull in on here. He is in a really rough spot. He didn't drop the turret. Or maybe he did drop the turret. Yeah, he did drop it, so that's good for him. But he does get isolated and picked off. No alts dropped for that kill, so that's a pretty big turnaround for Lurk Patrol to give them control at this point. Oh, Diablo going all in on that actually picks up a nice kill onto Tychus there, but ends up ultimately paying for it. They drop the beat trying to walk him out, but he ends up dying anyway, and it looks like sOaK Every Lane's going to continue to run this down with 3 people and try and secure additional kills. May have overchased here. Oh, cut off. They broke off right before that would have been an overextension, so good pickup, good turn by them to continue to actually own this point, or pick up the point for the first time for this time around. Now, Gunny mid, looking to pick up some sOaK, trying to make up some experience. They are still half a level down. Meanwhile, Chromie, down here with her double shades, picking up a camp alone. Once again, incorrect. It looks like Chromie is okay at picking up camps. 13's picked up by both teams. Looks like Lurk Patrol is going to go ahead and look to get in on this point. No APOC for another 20 seconds or beat drop, so this is an actually really good fight for sOaK Every Lane. They go all in on that. Drop a Blessed and Orphea's ult and secure a kill. Still a pretty potent Odin if need be. So, but if they ultimately don't end up having to use it on this point, they go ahead and use it for Siege. We get 2 mechs on the board at the same time. That will be nice to see. They completely leave the Protector to come down. Good map awareness to step down and pick this up before making a go at the Protector. That gives them a second heal camp. Alright, pop the Odin. I mean, popping him top would be bad, but I want to see Odin and Protector on the map at the same time. That is an immense amount of sexy. So they're not gonna bother with top. Looks like Phil's gonna stick around and try and pick that up, but Joe Siege is not the greatest. Kind of trying to walk this spot. They're looking to set up for the 3rd objective. Probably the smart move. They just need to clear the camp before they do that. And in the meantime, it's taking a decent amount of damage. 34 seconds left on it. Can they at least get the well? Looks like it. Maybe not. Fear out on 2. There's the Odin. Double mech. I love it. Odin's actually almost as big as the Triglav. Can you get in the Triglav as the mech? Someone answer that for me. I don't actually know. So they secure the wall. They secure the well. Ultimately, that's a win for them. feel like they could have got more value. So they've set up for next objective, but they haven't gotten a whole hell of a lot else. And there's no lane pressure to be had. So they're ultimately banking on winning the next objective to actually get any real siege, which could hurt them, because scaling wise, Gul'dan comes on at 16. Of the heroes in this game, Gul'dan is the biggest threat. He did pick up Echo Corruption, so he is good for if he finished the quest, which I do believe he has. I step up Diablo Lucio in the incorrect location to continue living, and they did not. So sOaK every lane, despite what I was saying about Siege, is going to they're going to go ahead and get value out of anyway. Diablo's back up, not going to offer much in terms of protection, but with Lucio down, they could potentially swing mid and pick up another fort. Looks like that may be where they're headed, or they could invade the camp. I think camp probably be a good choice for them. Looks like that's what they're gonna do. Still running a level up. sOaK every lane has been pretty strong so far this game. Not making too many mistakes. 9 kills to 3. Let's take a look at our stats here. Siege damage just broke 100k on the Joe. Nothing too substantial standing out on either team. Both teams doing a pretty decent amount. Big issue, Diablo's been eaten a few times, so their Lurk Patrol's been without their tank on a handful of occasions, and Blaze has had to go elsewhere. So lack of frontline with a double mage has made it very difficult for them to do a whole lot. Not gonna lie, I didn't even know there was APM stats. I'm gonna leave this up the whole time. We don't need talents, right? XP, that tells a big story. Joe picking up the majority of the XP for her team. Let's hop back to our talents here. We do get up the frequency from Lucio. I do not know this hero. Of the healers, he's probably one of the ones I know the least about since this rework. PK going in here, pulling a out of position Gul'dan. Beat drop, nice. Wall stun, but ultimately they're lived long enough to actually pick up that kill on the Gul'dan. So right as third objective pops, that's a very bad time to no longer be alive. Gives sOaK every lane the ability to pick up yet another heal camp. Unfortunately, it looks like they used them. I kind of wanted to see everyone with a heal camp and then just drop them all at core or something. That'd be something to see. Now with that, they're going to rotate down to their turret camp. Puts them up, let's see, we have one turret on Chromie, and that's it. So they have 2 turrets and one, what is the name of this thing anyway? Emitter, something like that? Never paid much attention, just always called a heal camp. So with Lurk Patrol in other lanes, waiting for Gul'dan up, looks like sOaK every lane might look to push this. This may actually be kind of a sticky place for them to be if they get engaged on Wrapped too hard. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're going to back out just in time. We do have Piercing Sands come out for Chromie, so that's a big boost for Lurk Patrol right before level 20s on sOaK every lane. Alright, let's see how we engage this. This is Lurk Patrol's opportunity to make something happen before 20s. They're just kind of dancing around here. Every moment sOaK gets closer to 20, there's a good engage. We got stun out on PK as he come out just in time. He's going to go ahead and zone out. Horrify throws a few people out, but it doesn't look like it gets any real value. Arthas isolated up here is going to go ahead and go down, but the Protector does end up getting secured. Did pop Odin trying to get that value, so they are going to go ahead and push with the Protector once it comes out of stasis. Now the question becomes, with the Arthas down, do they have the ability to continue to siege in to get anything more than this fort? Protector taking a decent amount of damage, backline taking a pretty horrendous amount of damage, FPS Nate just daring someone to step up. He goes back farther than he probably planned. Nice root onto Lucio and Diablo, and Lucio goes down. Gul'dan went down too, and I didn't even see that one happen. I will have to go back and see what happened there. I never even noticed he died. It's really good roots from Key. So with those 2 pickups, that actually does open up the opportunity for them to get more value than they likely would have. Let me go ahead and pick up a wall. They have 42 seconds, but not a whole lot of life left. Picking up the well would be a really nice bonus for them, but don't think that's going to happen. Now the question becomes, with their 20s, do they go ahead and take this fight 4v3? If Lurk Patrol continues to chase, that's a good idea for them, but no, it looks like Lurk Patrol's going to go ahead and nope out here. Meanwhile, sOaK every lane picks up their Lurk Patrol's turret camp, so they're going to continue to collect items. Going to actually wrap behind, try and pick up this Diablo. They are running out of, they are in fact out of minions, so that's no longer going to be a safe option for them. Lurk Patrol inching ever so closer to level 20. Take a look at our level 20. He's blinded by the light on Joe. Big red button. Top off. Alright, and then anti-magic shield. Eldritch conduit. So I like the Orphea build. Standard through 7. Iffy on Eternal Feast, but that's worked out really well for them. And then Q at 13 and 16 is actually perfect for this comp. Gunny in kind of a little bit of a rough situation. He's going to go ahead and get grabbed. Good stun by the Blaze. Nice Horrify. But Blinded by the Light comes out and puts a lot of shields out for sOaK every lane, and value is had. Ultimately, a good trade in terms of health and mid-fort here for sOaK every lane. So sOaK every lane looking to take the heal camp. Looks like Lurk Patrol is going to go ahead and gauge onto them. Philip K in there causing all sorts of havoc, and ends up taking down the Gul'dan. PS8 peeling Kid off. Doubles is in there. That's a precarious place to be, but you know, if you can 1v12, why not? But no. Oh! All the healing, that hero is virtually invincible. Chromie getting in pot shots whenever possible, but sOaK, what is damage? Damage doesn't exist. Healing is all there is. So take a look at the healing numbers. We have sOaK 79,000 to the 82. Actually, Lucio up by about 3,000. The amount of healing that sOaK's been given out, I expected him to be over 100k at this point. So Gul'dan dead for another 5 seconds. Their sOaK every lane's aggressively rotating in, trying to pick someone off before this next objective. A little bit of a bush gank. Chromie checking their fortification camp, which is up. This is a little bit of a rough spot for sOaK every lane to engage into. No APOC for 5 seconds, but they don't know that. Good fear out on 2. They are very isolated, but Diablo ends up being alone on his own and goes down. All sorts of absolute carnage coming out onto Lurk Patrol. And now with just the Chromie and a baby Diablo, this likely will be a keep. If they pick up the Chromie here and also Diablo, this will be game. There was the Chromie. Gonna go ahead and pop Odin. Big red button's a huge amount of siege. They have a fresh minion wave. This should be game. Alright, very decisive. Great game overall. sOaK every lane. I'm going to go ahead and take game number 1. let's go ahead and get. Well, let's see. Let's pull up our stats screen here. This seems to work at least. See what it looks like. There we go. All right. So take a look real quick. Siege Joe, all over the siege damage. Go ahead and get a hold of our parties here. Taking a look at our Siege Joe, all over the place. Soak, Siege, damage soaked. Philip did a fantastic job that game, to be honest. Just watching him in the enemy team, he gave not a single damn about the damage that he took and was just all over them. Meanwhile, take a look at damage numbers. Orphea topping the numbers, followed closely by Chromie and Gul'dan and Taika. So damage ultimately across the board, it looks like, you know, it's all very close, but when you look at effective damage, Tychus into Orphea blow up ultimately end up being much more value than the Chromie Gul'dan poke. Even though Gul'dan finished Corruption level 1, at 16 it's kind of too late to really get a whole lot of value out of that, especially when the enemy team is just engaging hard into you. But we will wait for our game number 2. We'll notice I got my tree up today. I actually did that a couple hours ago. My little 4-year-old to help set everything up. And then got a brand new webcam. I picked up the Razer Kio. Actually, very much enjoying it. Alright, waiting on a response from our teams. There we go. So sOaK LaNe is going to go ahead and pick map number 2. Do I have? Nope, I still don't have them. So map number 2, we'll know here in just a moment what that map's going to be. Towers of Doom, picked up by Philip K on the side of sOaK LaNe. Let's go ahead and update the casting tool. Oh, it's not going to show up. So game number 1, once again, taken by sOaK LaNe. We'll update the score here in just a moment. Update and score. sOaK LaNe 1. Overview, still not there. Alright, check it out. No maps. No nothing. I don't know what happened. We'll figure it out before next cast. Let's see. There we go. Move to spectator. Let's throw up our. Take a look at me here for just a moment. As soon as this game is ready. So, just joining me, thank you first off for joining me here this evening. It is wonderful to have you. We are casting Nexus Gaming Series Div B West, sOaK LaNe versus Lurk Patrol. Exciting first game. Seemed like it was going to be back and forth. Engagements looked like they were pretty back and forth, but sOaK LaNe had a pretty good handle on a majority of those. Just watching members of Lurk Patrol pop left and right in a lot of those engagements, and I would imagine the self-sustained tools, the sustained tools sustain tools in general on sOaK Every Lane allowed them to have a pretty substantial amount of healing to keep them up and running. All right, so it looks like we are going to maybe. Saw in chat looked like we were waiting for the keys replacement on the side of sOaK Every Lane, but it looks like we may not be waiting. See what ultimately I get a response. Let me put on some in-game music for y'all. See, right up here. There we go. Keep you entertained. Oh, nope, they're ready. Alright, turn that right back off. And we're gonna go into this draft. I think. Let me double check again. I think we're going into the draft. Cross your fingers. Hey, we have a countdown. Alright, here we go.
Towers of Doom.
Alright, game number 2, Towers of Doom, selected by sOaK Every Lane. Means first ban, first pick goes to Lurk Patrol. See if we have any similar bans to last game. A lot of supports banned on the side of sOaK Every Lane. Didn't see a lot of tank bans tonight. So that's exciting. Get to see some more tanks. My boy Diablo. First ban goes to Raynor. First ban on the side of sOaK Every Lane is Maiev, so starting out similar on sOaK Every Lane's side in terms of bans so far. Assuming that Lurk Patrol has someone on their team that plays Maiev decently well. Stukov banned on the side of Lurk Patrol. Apparently, Key made his presence known. That hero is no longer going to be played by him this evening. Or at least not this game. Final ban for sOaK Every Lane. Let's make it a spicy one. Not an Ana. Nope, it's an Ana. That's unfortunate. No originality. Just kidding. Good bans overall. Both those heroes really strong. Not a single tank ban. That leaves a wide open availability for our big boys. Let's see what we get. Good map for Joe. As always, Joanna, good all-around tank. Good first pick. That does give sOaK Every Lane the freedom to kind of pick up a high priority support. Good, strong damage dealer. Tank, they could pick a tank, but it's not really, there's a big enough pool left over, there's no real need to secure it this early. Malthael and Orphea. So Malthael was banned by Lurk Patrol last game, so them letting it through, looks like Philip is all over that And then Doubles did a decent amount of work, 14 kills last game, so he did quite a lot of work with Orphea last game. So we will look to see if he can follow up that performance. Sylvanas and Anduin, two fantastic overall heroes on the side of Lurk Patrol, so their draft looking incredibly strong. Philip K, if I were them, I'd be banning out probably either Leoric or Zul, because they're the only two that could even attempt to match Malthael and the dual sOaK from top mid. Oh, nope, they opt for the Jaina instead. Jaina's a good pick for Lurk Patrol, really dangerous option for them, so it's not a bad ban for them. See what Lurk Patrol's response pick is to the Malthael, whether they're going to try and match the dual sOaK, or if they're just going to run a more standard comp. ETC ban from Lurk Patrol. Again, only major players still left to be picked up that you do not. Well, could have banned a support or a tank, but looks like they opted to kind of choke the. They call it choke, but just get the ETC out of there. Tyrande Junkrat. Tyrande was another hero that was actually banned by sOaK every lane, so they opted to pick it up. Junkrat looking to be the 4-man wave clear with the Orphea. Zul was picked up as a response to Malthael, so Zul, it's one of those matchups I'm not sure of. I think Zul wins in terms of wave. Well, Malthael is better wave clear for sure. And depending on Zul's build, he can potentially pressure Malthael off a bit, but not past level 4, I believe, or Dialone. Whatever tier Dialone comes in on. Then Zul kind of struggles. He can just root and walk away, and that's pretty much the extent of what he has. Garrosh pickup. I didn't even talk about the Elric. And the Garrosh, Elric, strong hero. See how Ace does with it. I will be harsh, as a High Lord is one of my favorite heroes. I think Garrosh on the side of Kid. So we have a good 4-man, decent follow-up on the Garrosh throws, if we get any. I'm going to switch over to our overlay. And if you're just joining us, this is game number 2 on Towers of Doom between Div B West, sOaK Every Lane, and Lurk Patrol. sOaK Every Lane did pick up game number 1 in a pretty commanding fashion. So Lurk Patrol looking for revenge in their second game. Looking at these drafts, wave clear is through the roof on the side of sOaK Every Lane. So we will see if they, it just doesn't matter if they have a Malthael, they don't need a lot of wave clear in the 4-man. But we'll go ahead and introduce sOaK Every Lane. We have Key on the Tyrande. Almost said Stukov. Doubles, zoom back in because I can't never see anyone. Doubles on the Orphea once again. DMN on Junkrat. Philip K on Malthael, and Kid on Garrosh. And on the side of Lurk Patrol, we have FPS Nate on Joanna, Ace on the High Lord, Gunny running on the Zul, High Def on Sylvanas, and Ector on Anduin. Let's pull up our talents here for your viewing pleasure. Now, Lurk Patrol knows how this works. They're going to go bot, try and get a little bit of a advantage out front, but not too far behind is sOaK Every Lane. They're going to go ahead and get their team down here as well. Now it looks like Lurk Patrol is going to go ahead and rotate people up for sOaK, because Zul, at the very least early on, will likely miss his sOaK, and this is a little bit of a scary situation, I think, for Malthael to be in. He did take on a Pale Horse, but he is actually pretty gankable, especially with an Alarak here. If Alarak steps up and Malthael happens to be mid, the route into pull actually could lead to a pretty nasty Malthael pick. Lurk PK actually eating a ton of damage. He's not careful, he actually may find himself in a little bit of a rough spot. Now we do have what's looking to be an invade from the side of sOaK every lane. Early on, I would actually give the team fight to Lurk Patrol. So sOaK might have been a little bit overly ambitious trying to get that. Maybe they're looking for a throw into a pick, and then maybe they pick up their own, but their own camp is not going to be picked up right away. Pull in, miss combo from Ace, so damage going out onto Garrosh, so Tanker, the lower health he gets, the tanker he becomes. So he shouldn't have to worry too much. However, Doobles does have to worry. Gets pulled in too far, she will not be alive for very long. Take a look at our rotation here. Gunny looks like he's sustaining mana decently well. But he is going for, let's see, backlash. So he's looking to team fight, he's looking for late game. The PS9 steps up. Tries to make sure not to get stunned there. So still no camp picked up by sOaK every lane. Potential to invade by Lurk Patrol, but looks like they're going to focus on objective. Both teams are going to focus on objective. Let's see who wins our 4-man down here. Maltheo looks like he's going to go ahead and step up safely, as is Zul, and pick up their own. Kid stepping up, beating a decent amount of damage. Good throw. No follow-up though. Folks galore going to go out onto sOaK every lane. Kid eating quite a bit of damage. They will actually most likely lose the sustained fight here due to Key's cooldowns plus blinds onto him. So the longer this goes on, the better this is for Lurk Patrol. Good staggered interrupts by Lurk Patrol. Kid going incredibly low on the Garrosh. FPS State stepping up, trying to continue to put pressure. At this point, sOaK every lane's actually going to have to back out and see if they can play the poke game. You have to be careful. Anybody stepping up to poke is liable to get pulled and absolutely deleted by Alarak. This talent. See how that works out. This talent makes me sad. Kid eating a pull and a Q. Junkrat a little bit out of position. He's going to have to be careful. He's going to get collapsed on sOaK every lane, eating a ton of damage. Doesn't actually have enough to step up anymore and interrupt. And Ektar finally picks up the cap for Lurk Patrol. Meanwhile, we have a slight experience lead to Zul. By Zul on the side of Lurk Patrol, at the very least. Look at our sOaK numbers real quick. Nope, that's APM. Nope, no sOaK there. There we go. So Maltheo actually has the lead. It looks like they're getting more sOaK down on the 4-man. It's actually a pretty decent. Let's take a look. Minions. No? Oh, the advantage marks. No, not that either. Why are they so far ahead? Guess they're not that far ahead anymore. Nice job walking the mercs in by sOaK every lane while Lurk Patrol was picking up their own. Let's see if they can return the favor with their own mercs. Sappers are key to this bot lane. Get it? Key. Don't at me. Sorry. So, even though it seems like Zul may be winning, quote unquote, the rotation, he's not winning in terms of damage dealt. You have towers going down, damage being done on structures. Let's take a look. Very little for sOaK every, or on sOaK every lane side, but Lurk Patrol is taking damage in both top lanes. 2 pulls, nice stuns, ults out on the side of Lurk Patrol, and they take full advantage of that XP advantage. Gonna step up with a Sylve now, turn off the tower and look to convert this tower which is huge on this map. That taking this tower and holding it for as long as possible is a pretty substantial advantage, and that also times out for towers to be up here, so this is going to be triple win for Lurk Patrol. Take a look at level 10s. We have Counter Strike, Mages, Light Bomb, Blessed Shield, and Wailing Arrow. Maltheo with the last rights in here fighting with Gunny. However, he is going to get caught out, and he's probably not going to live for very long. That is a little bit too greedy on the engagement there, or on the 1v1. We have Riptire, Starfall, Turtle Feast again, and no pickup yet by Garrosh. I wonder if he's deciding what he wants, talking to his team maybe. Decimate, alright. I don't know. I need some of my tank players to let me know. I've always been under the impression that Warlords is in fact the competitive level 10. You can get away with Decimate in Storm League, but not in comp. But I could be incorrect. Orpheol once again getting good value in camps specifically. Hector goes up with the Light Bomb. No value out of it though. Philip K, does he get Philip K does get a stack off of the Zool, so that's a 2-for-nothing pickup by sOaK every lane. Meanwhile, pull by Ace, they're a little bit low, but with the numbers advantage they should be more than okay to go ahead and grab this camp. Problem is they're now split. Junkrat's coming back. It might be a little bit too late though. Orphea goes down. Kid may also go down. Both of their frontliners are a little bit in a rough spot, but Philip K on the Maltheo, putting out that percent damage. Joanna does go down. This tower's still on the side of Lurk Patrol, but let's see if towers are capable of being picked up by sOaK every lane. They are really low, so it's going to be rough for them to really go into this. Sylvanas or really any of these heroes and punish someone that's in not a good position. Just like Maltheo right there, gets rooted, and then rooted again, pulled, hit with a ton of damage, thrown to safety, and then subsequently burned down by dots. So tower did get converted in the meantime, so only 4 shots for Lurk Patrol. I do have a 10 level or 10 point advantage on core health, and nearly a level lead at this point. So game is swinging more and more in their favor as this game goes along. And because of Zul's talent choices, he is more and more viable as the game goes on. The Maltheo falls off, he becomes less relevant in the 5-man. So any 5v5s, I believe, will go to Lurk Patrol. Just looking purely at the heroes. Gauge here. Kid is sitting and swinging this axe around as much as possible, but he does eat a Counter Strike. Ace does pull in Junkrat. He also eats a talent, or eats a Q, and in the meantime, Maltheo goes down in the top lane 1v1 versus Zul. So this is still more and more turning in the favor of Lurk Patrol. 3 talents up, or three levels up, 1 talent tier up. This, at the altar phase, all heroes will be up, but they're so far down that this is most likely to both towers be in the favor of for Lurk Patrol. Two deaths for sOaK every lane. We got, I believe, 3 shots in bot lane. This is just snowballing more and more in Lurk Patrol's favor. One interrupt by Key. Gonna go ahead and pick up their back camp by Ektar. And should be more than capable of picking up the camp up on the aggressive side. Not quite enough to get that, however, DMN just grabs a lot of damage, just get thrown out by the helping hand. Meanwhile, someone gets thrown and Ektar pulls him right back out. Getting a little bit too far forward here, he's going to go ahead and die. Good overall engage there by sOaK every lane. That is the potential for a start of a turn. However, they do need to clear 2 towers that have turned for Lurk Patrol, so this is still an incredibly rough spot for them. That plus being down. Let's do the math. 25? I believe it's 25 points. Malthea going to go ahead and head up top, clear by himself. Meanwhile, the other 4-man is going to go bot lane. Should be more than capable of converting both of these towers, assuming that they don't die down 16s under this tower. Good Indom, pulls in a couple of ults, both teams. However, the tower stays on the side of Lurk Patrol. Four kills by Lurk Patrol. That was pretty decisive. They're going to go in for 5. So what is the big thing? So I'm never a huge fan of this talent. That extra 124 damage can be pretty substantial if you get a squishy with it. And with that, that is a 6 cap for Lurk Patrol. 3 towers up, so I mean, no matter how you look at it, this is going to be a massive game win on game number 2 for Lurk Patrol. 4 kills to 15. Good games, both teams. Takes us to an ever exciting game number 3. Let's go ahead and move over to our match summary screen. Take a look at our stats. Siege damage pretty similar on our offlaners. sOaK was Zul pulled ahead there after the last times I looked. So he just continued to get the advantage, snowball the advantage for his team after Malthea pick quite a few times. Just a lot of deaths, of course, on the side of sOaK every lane. So they had a little bit of a rough time bringing the comeback. Damage is definitely a big indicator here. We had a lot of damage out by someone on Snalarak, and then Zul even would step up and put some damage out there. So they were able to get a lot of value from their 4-man and their offlaner. So I mean, it's ultimately all around good job by Lurk Patrol. Go ahead and give them a point on the board. And we have game number 3 on an ever so exciting Brax's Holdout. This map picked up by Lurk Patrol. Let's update that, and let's look real quick, see if we have a change. Nope, no maps. So last game, like I said, on Brax's Holdout. Go ahead and switch on over to our lobby. Hey. Alright, so while they get the lobby set up, I did want to thank Weenus, if you're still around, for the 69 bits. I appreciate you. And we have Zul Rules carrying our chat here. Thank you for keeping it alive. 2 additional follows, Burrito 1775 and Andy OAM. Thank you for the follows. I appreciate every single one of you. Alright, we have both teams in the lobby. So game number 1, it's pretty decisively sOaK every lanes. Game number 2, pretty decisively Lurk Patrol. So game number 3, see if we can get a good back and forth going. Well, a lot of excitement building into this final game of week 2. Actually, I think this is the second to last game for the day, for the evening, for the week. I appear to be dropping some frames, so I think that might have to do with my webcam. Let me switch this over, see if that resolves the issue. Not sure what's going on. Please let me know if you guys have any issues with the stream. Not sure what may be happening. There we go, that appears to have fixed. Closed out my Blizzard launcher and suddenly it went away, so I may have been downloading something. So my apologies. Let's step away and grab a water real quick while we wait for the teams. Alright, I have returned. Apologies. Looks like we're still waiting here. Selexia, thank you very much for the 69 bits. I appreciate you. Arrow, Lurk Patrol learning secret strats. From who? You? Where are they learning them from? Where can I learn them from? I don't have any strats. Arrow, if you have strats, DM me. Slide in the DMs. Got me some strats. Welcome, Merslexia. Thank you for the follows. Look happy to see y'all here. Hey, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Countdown into Praxis Holdout. This is a map. It's a very snowbally map. My team personally bans this map because it is unfun to play on for us. But if you have a strategy on it, it can work in your favor. sOaK every lane, gonna continue with the Maya ban. They want none of that hero, and on this map, a decent option for them. sOaK gonna get banned, and once again, Key has made an impression, so no more sOaK tonight. Alright, my brain powers are telling me Anna ban. My brain don't always work so well, but oh, Alarak ban, alright. So despite a very level 4 talent that makes me very sad, they respect the Alarak enough to get him off the board and not ban the Anna. So the question is, does Lurk Patrol pick up the Anna? Does Lurk Patrol have an Anna player that made them need to be banned? And Rexar. Good map, or good ban for the map. Rexar is a pain in the ass on point. Have a Rexar player of my own, does it decently well, so I know what that hero can do. He's gone. Let me rephrase that, they banned Misha. Misha's been banned. The joke been said enough, I'm sure it's probably old at this point. Okay, well, sOaK every lane says, well, we're not going to ban it, but we're going to take it. So Anna's on the board. Grandmama. Let's see what they pair with the Ana. Sylvanas and Joanna pick up. Good, did well for them last game. Not really surprised to see those two yet again. And we have an ETC and Ragnaros pickup. So ETC got banned against sOaK eVeRy last game. Looks like Kid's going to go ahead and grab him this game. And then Ragnaros is a hero. Good at defending the Zerg wave. I don't think he's great on point. I've said that in the past. I don't know if that's accurate, but I don't feel like he's a very good point getter, for lack of a better term. Not great at holding the point. He is good at he's good at defending, not so much good at 1v1ing. Depending on your build, see where it goes. Raynor banned by Lurk Patrol. Decent ban all around. And the Maltheo ban. So, not a huge fan of the ban on the map. It's not really something that I think really needs to go on this map, but I guess he could beat Rag. Yeah, he probably definitely beat Rag on point. So Anduin and Thrall pick up by Lurk Patrol. Anduin again worked out well for them last game. Thrall looks like he's going to be fighting Ragnaros on point, so we'll see who wins that matchup. Last two pickups, Vala and Leoric for sOaK eVeRy. Vala, personal favorite of mine. Has a decent frontline in ETC, okay healer for her, assuming that he is good at landing skill shots on a Vala that's dancing around everywhere. And then Leoric. Wait, I just realized Leoric, Ragnaros, and ETC. Alright. So is that a 4-man Ragnaros? That'll be spicy. And then last pick by Lurk Patrol, Kel'Thuzad. Good map for him. I guess with Arrow, Maev, and Alarak ban. Does Ace even get to play the video game? Well, he's going to play the Kel'Thuzad, so let's see how he does with it. Triple frontliner, he's going to get stacked pretty easy. Shouldn't be too difficult to throw chains onto everyone up on the front side of the 4-man. Alright, let's go ahead and get switched over here. And if you're just joining us, we are hopping into Game 3 of NGS Div B West, sOaK eVeRy versus Lurk Patrol. One apiece. So Game 3 decides who is going home with the gold. Or at least who's going home with 2 points. So let's take a look at our team. sOaK eVeRy, we have Doubles on the Ragnaros, DMN on Vala, Key on Banana, Kid on ETC, and Philip K on Leo. Is a Leo offlane. Gunny on Thrall on the side of Lurk Patrol, Ektar on Anduin, Ace on Kel'Thuzad, Hyde F on Sylvanas, and FPS Nate on Joanna. Take a look at our talents here at level 1 while we watch our 4-man scuffle. We have Aussie Renewal, Meatball build by Ragnaros, so he is less frontline than I anticipated. Hot Pursuit standard from Vala, Prog Rock, and Slumber Shells. We have Sleep Dart build. Let's see how that goes. I don't think I've ever played with it since her change anyway. Chain build looks like so far by Kel'Thuzad. Hold your ground. Bold strategy. This talent. Alright, see how it works. Triple frontline. I'm kind of okay with it. Let's see how it works out for him. And then Echo of Elements. Correct off-lane talent. So I am biased with certain heroes. So CSC gets it stacked. See if it works in their favor. With the Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad gets chained. Poison may not be of any real relevance, but we'll see how it goes. 2 stacking heroes on such a snowballing map, though, that's a risk. Alright, looks like top lane we got Gunny going for the straight up fight onto Philip K, and Leo says, nah, you're gonna join me in death, and I'm gonna take all your XP. So that forces in rotation up here from Kel'Thuzad. He's not going to be stacking in the top lane, so that is a double win. No chain there either. That's going to be a double win for sOaK every lane. Meanwhile, in the in the bot lane, we have a 4v3. Leo should be more than safe from these two, so hopefully, for the sake of Lurk Patrol, they swap their Lich back down bot lane. Kel'Thuzad running in for the sneaky, doesn't get only but 1 stack. That is in fact his first stack of the game, so this is not looking too good for them for their, shall we say, late game. I don't think this map even has a late game. And sOaK every lane gets a 2.5 minute Zerg wave. Kudos for them. I don't think they're going to do much with it though, early game. I could be wrong, but I think a 2.5 minute, this scales with, Zerg wave scales with time. 2.5 minutes in, they're not going to get a whole heck of a lot of value with it. Chain on DMN positions well so as to not get anyone else pulled into her. Slide on to Sylvanas. Sylvanas stepped up a little bit too far and paid for it. So they get a fort wall. They may get a well, which puts them in a pretty good spot for whoever ends up being in this lane next. Good slide onto Joanna. Shield's going down, body blocks. DMM's gonna step up and actually take down the Joe. So we got 2 kills in the bot lane. Zerg wave, they get a well, wall. Meanwhile, top lane, Philip K, looks like he's taking a little bit of a beating from Gunny, but overall, he should have a decent time. Now, once level 7 hits, Gunny has a little bit of a better time into this, but overall, Thrall's away play is not all that fantastic, so still in favor of Leoric. Lurk Patrol going to go ahead and pick up Bruisers, and going to get a siege camp grabbed by sOaK every lane. So everyone's going to do their obligatory let's rotate to camps after Zerg wave. Except for Lurk Patrol, they actually going to try and get some value with the camp. Meanwhile, sOaK every lane says we're going to go ahead and take 2 camps. Their siege camp is going to help defend a little bit before it goes down. Just enough for the team to step up here. And Rag is a defending god. A little bit of an ambitious slide by Kid. I think he's going to actually go down for that. Oh, walks out with 182 health. Good dodge by DMN. So they're not allowing Kel'Thuzad to stack. Don't really have many stacks on Sylvanas either. So the longer this game goes on without these 2 heroes getting stacked up, the more and more ahead sOaK every lane can get in the teamfight area. Another aggressive slide onto the KTZ, a little bit too far up, gets pulled by the annoying. Good reaction time on that. No heal though, so he is in threat of being myrtleized at any point. Take a look at our talents right here. Continue meatball build. We did get multi-shot from Vala. Move speed. Okay, so drain momentum from Leo, so he's going for the aggressive aggressive build up here. He is looking to hard win that lane as much as possible. Continued with sleep. Hammer on. That's interesting TC talent. I haven't played with Hammer on. I've tried his full auto build and I've not been a fan of it. Graceful Spike cooldown. That's an interesting decision. So his wave clear is gonna be a little bit lacking. Subdue, less recovery, festering wounds. So follow through. That's okay. I don't think that's gonna work in his favor. Ancestral is a huge talent, even going into the later parts of the game. So I think Leo is gonna basically forever own top lane. Take a look here. Yeah, Gunny's in a pretty deep world of hurt. And then, meanwhile, bot lane caught just in time to watch Kel'Thuzad die. Don't know what did it, but he is in fact dead. sOaK of LaNe gonna go ahead and step up and pick up another Zergwave. It looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and stop Ektar's back. He's gonna get slid and subsequently deleted. That's gonna secure level 10s for sOaK of LaNe. This is a huge push for them, taking down this fort. Now, the question is, do they rotate top or do they go ahead and push bot? Looks like they are going to go ahead and rotate with their Zergwave. Leave Rag bot. Rag is going to throw a Zergwave. Meanwhile, Philip's getting quite a bit of damage. Doesn't really matter because they still have 10s on the side of sOaK of LaNe, so they step up, pick up 2 kills in the top lane. That will guarantee most likely a fort. What 10s did we get? We do have an Entomb. Entomb did go down. We still have Mosh. We still have at least 1 charge of Rain of Vengeance. And then Eye of Horus. So we have heals from an obscene range. 2 stacks on the Kel'Thuzad. He did get his level 15, so we do have the pickup on the Glacier here. Now this is going to secure a keep wall. So this has been a huge pickup by sOaK of LaNe, and level 10's just now coming in for Lurk Patrol. So there's not. I mean, sOaK of LaNe has got this handled so far. They don't misplay, which it looks like they're not going to. It looks like they're going in for a huge gank from the bush. Pick up a Thrall. And then they're going to go about their ways. They're going to go ahead and they're going to pick up camps. Level 10s, finally selected by Joe. Now this camp is a little bit greedy. A very scary place for Lurk Patrol to be. So Sylvanas pays for that decision. And sOaK of LaNe continues. They could actually potentially go for a boss. Boss could be a throw. So they're not going to go boss. They're going to go get other camps. They have map pressure. They have experience lead. They have 9 kills to 0. They're in a good position. They don't need to force anything. Meanwhile, Lurk Patrol needs to do something. They got to come up with a plan to try and come from behind. Ace kind of walking through the bush there. Not a good place to be as a squishy Kel'Thuzad. Alright, and Kel'Thuzad once again. Ace gets picked up in the rotation through the bush. And with that, sOaK of LaNe is going to go ahead and secure level 13s and think may even push for a keep now. Kel'Thuzad, however, does have his buyback, so they are 5v5. This is a bit of a potential precarious place for sOaK of LaNe to be. As nice as it would be to have this keep, forcing it might be the unsafe option for them when they can go ahead and just secure points. Secure the points for yet another Zergwave. Meanwhile, we have 1/2 of the siege camp pushing. They are securing both towers, so yet again another potential win condition opened up for them. since there is only keeps remaining. Bushes yet again. Leo's going to go ahead and jump in, drop an Entomb onto Sylvanas, pull out of the Entomb, so not a whole lot of value. There's the Sunder comes out and drop the Eye of Horus. Good value, secures the kill on the Thrall. Ektar tried to drop the bubble. That didn't work out too much for him. Ektar is in fact going to most likely pay with his life. Kid jumps out with the Mosh, secures a kill on Kel'Thuzad just in time for Zergwave to pop. This is going to be a keep and potentially even game. So it keeps down before Zergwave even gets here. We are going to have a 5v5 on core. Question becomes, does sOaK actually go for it? They have Rag for it to really, I mean, there's not a good reason why they don't just end this game. Especially if they continue to pick up kills. Sylva's gone down, Gunny on Thrall's going to go ahead and retreat. Meanwhile, we have Zergwave and Ragfart on core. That is game 3 securely in the hands of sOaK eVeRy Lane. Alright. So, game number 3 picked up by sOaK eVeRy Lane. That is a 2-1. Great job, both teams picking up a game, a point apiece. sOaK eVeRy Lane picks up a second point for themselves. Taking a look at the post-screen stats again, 14-2-0. Big differences. Like I said, we had two heavily stacking heroes in Kel'Thuzad and Dagger build Sylv, and they weren't going to be able to get a whole lot of value in the late game, because that map doesn't have a late game. That map, you're lucky if that map goes beyond 15 minutes. So, say that would definitely be something to look at, is, you know, how do you want to approach that map. However, that map was selected by them. So, ultimately, it just didn't come together for him. sOaK eVeRy Lane played that absolutely nearly flawlessly, and come away with the 2-1. Let's see if we can pick up Philip for the what should we say? Interview. That thing. Give me one moment. See what kind of a response we get from him. Let's see, we have Kid. Let's grab Kid. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get an interview. Actually, let's see. May not. Alright, so actually what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we are going to throw a raid over to Venus. He is casting what looks like the last live game of the evening. So stay tuned for that. I do want to thank you all for joining me here for this Div B West game. As always, I am more than happy to have everyone here, and I am going to hope to get a game in every night that I'm not playing my own game, but we will see. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye out. I'll let you know when I'm next streaming. But for now, let's enjoy the moistness as I throw you over to Moist Venus. This has been Raven X. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.